finally I get to do a tour of my game room. Now, I've talked a lot about the video games I like, but I haven't actually showed them in my game room, so this is where most of the magic happens. I've got my Switch and a few of my handhelds with my PS4 upstairs in my room, and a couple collector's editions, but let's just get started here. I'm going to do this all in one cut, so I apologize for all the awkwardness. Up here we got a Pong machine along with some boxes for PlayStation assorted items, including a Rocket Slime Dragon Quest PS2 controller. Yes, that's actually a controller, so that's pretty cool. Then down here we start with Xbox games. Got some cool ones, Knights of the Old Republic boxed up, the Skyrim Collector's Edition, along with Halo Master Chief. That's a Spartan, not Master Chief, sorry. Just action figure. Very cool, very interesting. Then we got some 360 games along with some Xbox One games and PS2 games. All the Ape Escapes, as you can see. A sealed copy of Yakuza 2. I'm gonna open it eventually, I just haven't had time to play it, so I figure why hurt myself and open it at this point. Some assorted games over there on the side, Dark Souls, Catherine, Persona. And then we've got some PS2, PS3, and PS1 games, along with a couple PS Vita games. Nothing too interesting here. You can see that Japanese game there is actually the Cowboy Bebop game. And of course, one of the best games in my collection, or should I say, best collector's pieces, is a copy of Persona on PS1, so that's pretty cool. Then we've got some guides down here on the bottom, along with some books. And then the box for the Virtual Boy, along with a GameCube, a CRT to play light gun games, and then we move on to the consoles: Xbox One, Wii U, Sega Saturn, Super Nintendo, Xbox 360, PS1, all the Sega Genesis fixins, NES top loader, NES front loader, Super Famicom, and of course in the front we've got the Virtual Boy on the table along with a bunch of assorted stuff, some games. Then we've got the Sonic box with Knights, Knuckles, Chaotix, etc. We've got Rob the Robot with some handhelds, Crash Bandicoot, Klonoa, and Final Fantasy VII. Got some special Zelda stuff I actually made over there in the corner. I made that controller, you can see it a little bit closer here. Then we've got Conker's Bad Fur Day along with Mario RPG and one of the rarest games in my collection yet again, Sonic Adventure Limited Edition. We got Yoshi's Island boxed up, Super Mario Bros. 2, some assorted cheat guides over there in the corner, and then we got Ikaruga and the Nintendo Puzzle Collection for the Japanese GameCube, which I have over here. We've got the PS2, Dreamcast, PS3, Nintendo 64, Xbox, Japanese GameCube that plays all games, including DVDs. Then we've got Wii, Atari 2600, Sega Master System, and Sega Dreamcast. Got through it all. Now let's move on to up here. We've got some Heroes of the Storm figures, some Sonic Adventure plushies, a really rare Sonic Adventure handheld type game. It's a Tiger Electronics, but it's actually pretty good. It's actually 3D. Then we've got some Sega Genesis games, including Phantasy Star 4, which is very good. Got Outrun in the front there, Castlevania Bloodlines, some of the rarer games. Then we've got 2 Game Gears, count it 2, with a boxed copy of one of my first games ever, one of my favorite games, Sonic the Hedgehog on Game Gear. Then we've got both Sonic Adventures right here, along with an almost complete set of the Resource action figures. And behind there we have some Sega Master System games. Then on the bottom we've got some Sega Saturn games. I gotta get a few more, but you can see Sonic R over there, that's pretty rare. We've got X-Men vs. Street Fighter, which I talked about in one of my latest videos, along with all the Marvel vs. Capcom games, and Third Strike Street Fighter 3, which is amazing. In the back there we've got some Sega Dreamcast games. Then we've got a boxed copy of Mario Bros. For the Atari 2600, along with 2 rows of Atari 2600 games. There's a row behind there. And a Sonic figure. Then we move up to here. We've got Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix, another N64, another rare model actually, and then we've got the NES Classic Edition along with some Mario figures, and then we move on to NES, Nintendo Entertainment System, and there's some good stuff there. Bionic Commando box, that's a very good game. We got some Super Famicom, Super Nintendo, and N64 games, along with some Link figures. Then we've got the GameCube. I actually have Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, and of course one of my favorite but not so rare games, Metroid Prime. And then over on the side we've got a box copy of Resident Evil 2 that I got at PAX. That was an awesome deal. And Darinuto Smash Brothers. That's the Japanese version of Super Smash Brothers for the N64. Some box Zelda stuff. And And then we move down to Wii, where the only real thing here of significance is the Metroid Prime trilogy. That's a very good trilogy. Definitely worth some money. Very good game. Got Mario Sports mix up here. That's another slightly rare one, but most of it is the Metroid Prime trilogy. Then we move on to some handheld stuff. We got the Mario Party e-reader game, a box copy of Chain of Memories, and what is that? Monster Hunter amiibo. Whoops. And then we've got some more amiibos. There's another handheld that goes here at DS, but it's actually upstairs right now. And then I got that's a modded Game Boy Color with a lit screen. Then we got the awesome Neo Geo Pocket Color with some Pokemon minis. Then we got some Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games, some boxed Virtual Boy games you can see there, some 3DS games, well, some is kind of an understatement, and some DS games, including Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, an awesome game, and of course, Ace Attorney Apollo Justice. That's a great game. Then we move on to soundtracks. I got a lot of them there. I got the Sonic Adventure over there in the corner, the Sonic Adventure soundtrack, which I love. Some boxed Kingdom Hearts Collector's Editions, some Wii U games, and of course down there on the bottom, some parts for Rob. Then we've got some more 3DS games, some 3DS hardcovers for the new 3DS. A custom amiibo I actually 3D printed and painted, that's the Ice Climbers. And then down on the bottom we have PlayStation Portable to round out my gaming collection, at least most of it. There's a little bit more upstairs, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to know anything about anything in the video, just hit me up and I'll try to give you some detailed info about the item. Thanks.